Are you bored? You're bored, right? Because, you know, everything with this whole boomer remover situation has been pretty intense. And it's leaving a lot of people to be bored because they don't have much to do. If I'm being real, this whole situation with quarantine, all that stuff has been it's pretty much how I lived my day-to-day life. We even without this whole boomer remover situation being a thing. But now, a lot of people are, shaving their hair. A lot of people are just doing stuff because they're bored. They're doing things they wouldn't normally do because they're bored. What is bored? To understand what bored is, we first need to understand its definition. And if you might be thinking, oh, bored, what it is and what it means is basically the same thing, right? Well, no. What bored is and what bored means are completely different. You see, what bored means is something that is handed to us, a definition handed to us by our phones or someone we believe is smarter than us. And the person we believe to be the smartest person in the world is Google. We believe what our phones or computers, whatever we look stuff up on, we believe what it says. Of course we believe it. It's always right, right? The phone technology is always right. What the computer or the phone or what we look up, the answer that we get from our devices, what it tells us is what bored means. I'll get into what bored is in a second. But what bored means by exactly what I said, Google, feeling weary because one is unoccupied or lacks interest in one's current activity. She got bored with staring out the window, which I'm pretty sure you'd be doing if you're already pretty fucking bored. Well, I don't know why you would do some shit like that. But anyway, so she got bored with doing something, right? That's bored. Now, what bored is a little more deeper than the definition of bored. See, the definition of bored is you getting told what bored means. It's like in the sense of all things and whatever you're doing, this is what bored means. Now we got to go into what bored is, and bored is anything, really. Bored really is anything. You can do anything when you're bored. Being bored isn't just one thing. Being bored can, and in most cases, be multiple things. So for example, when you're bored, right, you can play video games. You can go on a drive. You can do activities that you like to do because you were already doing something that you were bored of, so you want to do something that you like to do because maybe you're doing something that you don't like to do. That's why you're bored in the first place. Or you can be bored because you were doing something you'd like to do. Back to what I was saying when I first started the video about this whole no-no virus, the boomer remover. People are doing things and repeating things on a daily basis. People are doing the same thing every single day. People on a daily basis are just repeating the same actions over and over again. Right? They're just doing the same exact thing over and over again, whether it's waking up, making their coffee, watching TV on the couch, waking up, making tea, waking up and going back to sleep, waking up and going onto their phone. Whatever they're doing, they're repeating it over and over again. And even if they had the same normal daily morning routine, they would make coffee in the morning, some shit like that every single day because, that's how they started off their day when they would go to work or something. It's different now. Because when you go to work or when you go to school, you have a sense of direction. You're being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, when they want you to do it. And we're okay with that. We didn't have problems with that. Because it gave us some sense of direction with our life. It gave us a way to know what we're doing. And now a lot of people don't know what they're doing. Which is interesting to me because me personally, I can't be told what to do. I can't. You can't tell me what to do. No one in the world can tell me what to do. Unless I'm in the military. See, my thought process would be different because that's the military. I understand the situation that it is. Or, if I was like in the police force or SWAT, stuff like that. But in the sense of authority as in teachers or people that I've never met that own me, like in a job, not own me, but you know what I mean. People that like have authority over me. Teachers, principals, shit. Sometimes even my own fucking parents, but not in like the way you think. Not like make me a fucking sandwich with without crust this time, Linda. Like no, not that's not my mom's name, but you know what I mean. Like not shit like that. My parents will tell me what to do and I'll listen. But I mean, you can't tell me what to do in the sense of they take my phone away, right? And then they tell me to stay inside. I'm not staying inside. You take my phone away, you take my devices away, my Xbox away, the stuff that I need to pursue this career that I'm trying to pursue, that I'm doing right now, and I'm pursuing right now as I'm making this video. You take that stuff away, I'm not going to listen. Because that stuff I need as much as you don't. They don't actually do this because my mom has a great understanding of everything that I'm doing. But I'm just saying this as an example. You do that, you say, oh, you can't leave the house, you're doing homework. I'm not doing my homework. I'm not touching that shit. I'm not touching my backpack. I'm leaving my house, even if you say I can't. I'm going with my friends and I'm doing fucking drugs or something. Like, you're not going to tell me what I can and what I cannot do in this situation. Other people, they look to stuff like that because they don't have any sense of direction. Towards teachers, bosses. Oh, I want you to print this piece of paper. I want you to write this on it. I want you to write exactly 2,000 words in this essay. I want you to finish this thing with complete sentences. Teachers, bosses, they do that shit to control you. And people needed that. Now that some people aren't, working anymore, people aren't going to school anymore. They're at home. They wake up. They go on their phones for a little bit. They probably don't even eat that much anymore. They probably go out. They probably never leave their rooms. They go out to the kitchen here and there to eat. Some people couldn't even eat unless they had school. Because the life that they're living, they're probably really struggling right now. And this whole situation kind of messed with people's schedules and the way they lived. Some people are, not as buff as they used to be because they don't have home equipment and the gyms are closed. They don't have home equipment, so they can't work out unless they're doing body weight workouts. But that's not gonna work when they were doing, a whole bunch of sets and a whole bunch of reps of 400 pounds or some shit like that. Push-ups and body weight exercises, pull-ups are not gonna do it for you like lifting weights will do it for you. So a lot of people are not as in shape as they used to be. And by a lot, I mean probably a lot, man. Like, it's probably, look at Black Panther, bro. That man's fucking going through it. But, anyway, a lot of people are not really, they don't know what to do right now. I mean, there's challenges on the internet, about people shaving their heads bald or giving themselves buzz cuts and shit like that. Because, they're bored. They don't know what to do. And they have no sense of direction. So they don't know what to do with their lives. So the person started the trend, so they cut their hair. The person that started it, who knows what's going on through their head. Or there's people that followed the trend, which is another thing of them being bored. They're bored, and someone else cut their hair bald. And they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to do that now too. And guess what? It's because they're getting sense of direction from someone else. Someone else is giving them that idea. And that's why they do it. Because they finally have that sense of direction. And then what? After they cut their hair, what? They're back to not knowing what the fuck to do. They're waking up, going on their phones, doing the same things that they're doing with their lives, feeling empty inside. Because they're doing the same exact thing over and over again. Now, you might think, oh, you'll never be bored if you're doing something that you like, right? Like when people say, if you love doing your job, then it's not really a job. Right? I love doing what it is I do. It's not really a job, it's more of a hobby, but it will turn into a job eventually. Hopefully, I'd like to think so. And it's YouTube, right? My hobby. Or making music, my hobby. But hopefully one day, like I said, become a job. But for people that make music professionally, that make YouTube videos professionally, that, are making money off of doing this stuff, you always hear the same thing. Oh, this is the best job I could ever ask for. This is my favorite job I've ever done. This is the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I'm my own boss, this, that, and this. Yeah, they love it. I would love it too. I love it right now, and I'm not even getting paid for it. Imagine if I was getting paid for it. I would absolutely enjoy it. right? People, they love what they're doing if they're on YouTube or they're making music, yada yada, this because they're showing their creativeness or whatever. They're being creative and they're putting that on into the world, and people get to see it, and people get to enjoy it, people get to react to it, people get to have opinions on it, people get to do things with it, right? Make covers, make parodies, shit like that. So they always say, oh yeah, this is the best job ever. But, and this is a really big but, like, really big but. But anyway, they always say, but, right? It gets exhausting. You know, that's why people hire editors. You know, that's how people get to maintain such a big schedule of uploading 2 videos every single day at the exact same time. Or for example, what Good Mythical Mornings are doing with their videos, right? They have to stay home and record their videos, but they have so many videos pre-recorded. It also sometimes makes me think, how do they record this many videos? How do they record this many videos and do this much stuff that they can, that they can upload videos on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, that have already been pre-recorded and edited and everything, right? How can they do that? Because, well, it's their job, they're getting paid, they need to be ready for situations like this, and they need to have videos on the go, just in case something ever happens, or just because that's what they always did. Maybe they always had videos on the go that they recorded earlier, who knows? But the thing is, they are doing their job. Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, they're doing their job. They're making videos, and they upload every day on a consistent basis. That's maybe the same time, maybe different times. You know, they live stream every day, shit like that, right? But they hire editors, because after a while, editing your videos, especially if you want them to be quality, gets annoying, gets tiring. Because yes, I love it. I love adding funny shit to my videos. I like adding memes. I like adding effects. I love doing all this stuff. But you gotta realize, doing that for a long time gets annoying, gets boring. It makes us bored because it's the same thing over and over again. And in my case, I'm not getting paid. Therefore, I get even more bored because, well, what am I, like, sometimes I doubt myself. What am I even doing this for? You see, so this can go with a lot of other things too, not just editing videos on YouTube. You can get bored from playing your favorite video game of all time, right? You could be playing the game that you've played every single day, hours on end, that you absolutely love. There's so much new stuff to do. They update it every single week. They're adding a whole different thing. It's basically a new game every single day, right? But it's the same mechanics. And also sometimes change doesn't mean good. Look at Fortnite. It'll change something, people will hate it. Look at Call of Duty. It'll change something, people will hate it, or they'll love it. Oh yeah, finally new shit in the game. But although it's new stuff in the game, and there's so much new things you could do, like Battle Royale, right? Warzone. Although there's something new you can do in the game, it's still the same game. It's still Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It still has the same concept. It's still a Call of Duty game, right? Some people always say, oh yeah, you're buying the same FIFA every year. You're buying the same you're buying the same basketball game every year. You're buying 2K every year. It's the same game but different graphics, and even the graphics aren't that good, right? They say that, and yet we still buy the new game, even if you know, oh yeah, FIFA every year is the same thing. 2K every year, same thing. Why do we still buy it? We buy it because it's something new, whether it's a new title, 2K20, 2K21, FIFA 18, FIFA 19, FIFA 20, FIFA 21. That new title, it leaves us that tiny bit of hope that if it's a new title, it's a new game. Alright? So, we like new. We love new. But new gets old very fast. And we eventually get tired of it, no matter what it is. And then we do things to satisfy our boredom since we're tired of what we're doing. You know? A lot of people do many different things. There are unlimited possibilities of activities you can do when you're bored, because each person is their own. and will do things that they want to do to stop being bored. Some people will go to sleep, me included. I love going to sleep. I will go to sleep when I'm bored just to pass time so that I can wake up and have something new to do or do what I was doing before I fell asleep, but I won't be tired of it because I have been asleep. So I finally rested and then I could do that thing again because I was asleep for so long. Or some people go on jogs, some people work out, they hit the gym, but a lot of people aren't hitting the gym anymore because of the whole situation, right? So they're not hitting the gym anymore. So they're working out at home because they still need that like scheduling in their life. They still need to do what they were doing before, even if it's not to that big of an extent. So they're, working out, doing bodyweight exercise, stuff like that. Some people do drugs, right? And I'm not saying go out there and do fucking meth or something like that because you're bored. I'm not saying that. But people will do things like that because they're bored. That's how most drug addictions happen. They're bored, they want to try it out, they want something new in their life, bam, they're addicted to drugs. Weed is another story. I don't care about weed. And most people shouldn't care about weed even though they do, right? Do fucking weed, I don't care. I mean, you shouldn't even care if I care because I'm a fucking, why should it matter if I care or not? But I'm just saying, like, people do drugs, weed included, and weed is the ultimate boredom drug because you're not bored. Like, you will not be bored after that because you have things to do, even if it's just stare at a wall. Staring at that wall is fun in that period of time. But then people build tolerances for it because they're bored constantly. They're so bored all the time that they build a tolerance for the biggest amount of weed you could ever imagine to the point where they're like, it's not working anymore. Or maybe it is working and they're just tired of the effects. It's the same old effects each time. Oh yeah, I get a little dizzy, I start to trip out and act weird and shit like that, and I start to just get glued to my couch and laugh about how the lines on my wall aren't perfectly lined up or some shit like that. Like shit like that, right? They eventually get tired of doing that. They eventually get tired of just being high off weed. So what do? They'll do acid, they'll do heroin, they'll do they'll do meth, they'll do cocaine, they'll do anything just to get a different feeling other than the feeling that weed will give them, because the effects that it has on their body and on their mind. They're not bored after that. So how does one never be bored? And I don't really feel like that's a possibility. It says here on this website that I'm looking at, it says make your goals spicy. That's one. It's a list. It says make your goals spicy. Check what you're aiming for this month, this year, and in life. If your goals make you feel tired and bored, then you're probably tired and bored with life and tired and boring to be with. Throw out that list and make a new one full of things that light you up. So basically it's saying if you have goals in life that are making you bored, then those aren't your goals. Right? Those are not your goals, right? Because although, yeah, at the same time, maybe those are your goals, maybe they're just hard for you to achieve, and you're still chasing it from time to time, even though you're bored. Let me example, I do YouTube, right? That's my goal in life. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to, like, I want to be a YouTuber. And that's my goal in life, but I still get bored of it. Right? So maybe it isn't my goal in life. Maybe I actually want to do something else, and this is just some shit that I'm doing because I'm bored. And then I do it whenever I'm bored because I need to satisfy that boredom. Maybe. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure this is what I want to do. I have no other sense of direction. So yes, this is what I want to do in my life. So this says throw your list out if you're bored of what it is, because that's not what you want to do. I don't agree with that. I believe if you think it's what you want to do, then it's what you want to do, even if you're bored of it. Because eventually you'll get back to it, right? You have to, if you really want to do it. It says drop the cool act. If your reason for getting up is to post airbrush selfies and keep everything you say and do lined up with your personal brand, go away. You're making us yawn. Don't take yourself so seriously. You're not as cool as you think, and no one is. I highly agree with this. There's those people that are in high school that think they're the shit because they're on the football team, they're popular, this, that, and this. Same people that can't make it to a D1 league or will never get drafted just because they were good in high school. And those are the ones that still talk to teenagers and people in high school even though they're fucking 30 years old already fucking just they probably work at a gas station, but they want to feel like they're in high school again. The same people that be posting streaks and all that stuff, and who's up and who want to FaceTime late as fuck at night just because they're bored, right? So I agree with that. It says tell stories but know when to stop. I feel like if you're bored, you're not going to be able to tell a story because you don't feel inspirational. Telling stories is fun as hell though if you know how to do it right. Comedians, they tell the greatest stories in the world. Amazing. Hide your phone from yourself, right? Being bored sometimes forces you to want to do things that will make you not bored, right? Being bored will make you want to like find new ways to not be bored on some Willy Wonka shit, finding new flavors of chocolate and shit like that. When you're bored, you will find a way. You will find a way, right? Like regardless of what the situation is, when you're bored, you will find a way to not be bored. Whether it's just sleeping, you still found a way to not be bored. So I agree. If you hide your phone from yourself and you're bored, and then you hide your phone from yourself, that will give you opportunities to find out ways to not be bored. Because your phone is always your go-to when you're bored in most cases. You take that away from you, you're forced to find another thing to make you not bored. And when you're bored and you go to your phone, that's also looking for a sense of direction because you're looking at your phone and you're doing things on your phone. It says initiate something, anything. Get off the couch. When was the last time you came up with a spontaneous activity for you and your partner, family, friends that followed through it? Surprise them and they'll look at you with fresh eyes. So, we can't really do this right now. We can't be like, hey, let's go on a date to the movies because those are closed. Or we can't be like, hey, let's do this, that, and this, right? Because of the whole virus situation. But we can do things like, hey, let's play the game on the Xbox. Let's play the game on PlayStation. Let's FaceTime. Let's do a try not to laugh at the same time by playing the video at the same time on YouTube. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's watch the video. Try not to laugh. Let's do shit like that. You can still do things like that while you're bored. And we can't go places because of this whole situation. It says, screw with your routines, don't do the same old every day, change it up, enough said. I agree, and I was talking about this earlier. Doing the same thing over and over again, yeah, it's fun because you have sense of direction, sure, and it's fun because it's things you like to do, but after a while you're going to get bored of it because it's the same old thing. You know what to expect, you know the feeling you get from doing that same thing over and over again, so you stop doing it. Do something else. It says take a conversation somewhere. Be curious when talking to someone, wait for their response to take it somewhere that relates to them, then do it all. Then do it again. All roads shouldn't lead back to yourself. I agree. I feel like the most bored people are people that only care about themselves or people that are self-obsessed, right? Because they're not taking time out their day to learn. They're not taking time out their day to understand. Right? If you're obsessed with yourself, you're going to get bored easily because you know what you want. You know what you want. You take time out your day to listen to someone else, you're not going to be bored because you're learning something new. And if it's about someone you care about, then that's even better because you're learning something new about someone that you genuinely have interest in. Right? So, I agree with that. I mean, that makes sense. Smile. I know being told to smile is patronizing, but when you see someone laughing and smiling in the world, it's human nature to want a piece of that. Also, smiling is very easy. What not to do? Why not do the simple stuff first, right? They're saying smile. They're saying be happy, right? They're saying, like, just kind of... Because it's proven fact that if you smile for a little while, that rhymed, but if you smile, eventually you'll get actual happiness, right? So... it's saying just be happy, just make yourself happy, do things that make you happy is what I took from that. And I agree, just be happy. If you don't want to smile, don't do it then. Sometimes here and there we need a smile. Sometimes here and there we need that feeling, that dopamine release. We need that smile to make us happy. And I could keep talking about this more and more. There's actually a lot more I wanted to talk about, like who discovered boredom, and why boredom is a thing, and how that even happens, and the chemicals that our body releases when we become bored. I wanted to talk about all this stuff, but that shit would make this shit long as fuck. But if you guys want that, let me know. I'd be down to make a video like that. I love making videos like these. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna watch this anyway. This isn't something that a lot of people can get jiggy with. They're probably more into, you know, the gaming stuff and the memes and the haha funny haha that's hilarious and all that shit. And I completely agree. I would think that that shit is more fun than this. But I mean, what else do you have to do in this time right now? There's nothing to do. Sit down and just listen to some random dude talk about boredom and probably make you even more bored, since this video is probably boring as hell too. And yeah, but anyway, if you want me to talk more, oh shit, if you want me to talk more about this, then let me know, because I will. Because I can keep going. So, yeah. Anyway, ladies, brothers and misses, it's been me. Y'all know what to do. Peace.